We've noticed a change in this, haven't we?
What's important, I think, for us to really look at is consumer behavior.
That's how we react as humans. We want it fast, we want it now.
And if you're still using the same marketing tactics, the same messaging, the same approach to that consumer from 10 years ago, you're missing out.
The consumer out there is thinking, there might be a better alternative.
We've found the institutions, we've brought them together in one place. And all of a sudden, you're instantly going in with 6, 7 offers, telling the person who wants to sell their house that I have 6, 7 offers right now. Hey, howdy, hey, partners out there. This is the Real Estate Consumer Shift. I'm Jason Wells. We're coming at you with another action-packed episode. My partner here,
Tim Evans. And Wellesley, what's going on this week, man?
You know what? I am so excited for what we're going to talk about this week because this brings hope to buyer agents everywhere.
And signing their agreements, right?
Yes.
So anyways, what did Jacob just tell us? We're on a quick one here.
We're on a quick one here, so you might want to bookmark this and to come back to it because we're going to talk real fast when we go through it because he only is going to give us about 15 minutes to go through this one.
Yes, fast. Like put the seatbelt on. There might be a few turbulence on the way, but let's dive right into this one. So there you go.
So tell me, you asked last time in our last podcast about like what it is what a buyer agent needs to be doing to kind of show your value, why it is that buyer's going to want to sign with you because the consumer is changing. And we've mentioned that many times. The process is about to be flipped on its head because of the NAR, National Association of Realtors settlement that goes into effect here in about 1 to 2 months, where buyer agents will be required to sign a buyer broker or an employment agreement. We call it a buyer broker. You have to have one, the buyer has to sign one, or you can't even open the door to show them a house. In that, you have to have definitively what you're going to make. So it has to say, I make 3% of the purchase price. I make 4% of the purchase price. No offsets. No like, but it's discounted by this thing or that thing. No, it's just, that's the number, end of discussion. You can't introduce, even that the seller may offer towards that. That cannot be in the agreement is what they've said. So the question you asked is, what do you need as a buyer agent to show those buyers the value of signing that agreement with you?
And let's step this down a little bit. I know we're short on time, but we're going to run through this really quick. Buyers want homes. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for homes. Now they have all the homes. They're looking for homes that they cannot find anywhere on the internet, right?
Yep.
So where can you find these homes? This is tough. It's a good question, right?
Think about that in your market. That's a great question, Tim, right there. Think about that as you're listening in your market. Where is it that you find off-market properties? If you needed to right now run a campaign and you needed, let's say, 20 off-market properties, where are they coming from? Where are your 20 off-market properties?
Right. Some of us go in the MLS, we find bank foreclosures, trustee sales. We're looking for sale by owners. We're just scamming, but a lot of that's already
on the market.
It's already online. It's like Zillow or something. Yep. It's already online where people can see it. So that's raises the big question. So we've developed and have in use right now a platform that many agents are on that have off-market properties that they're feeding into the system that they're marketing to, and that is catching a big bucket of properties for them. We have some agents that have over 400, 500 homes on their platform. At any point, as an agent, and hear me out on this and follow me through on this, at any point, you could take a buyer that's interested, they could sort by these properties, bed, bathroom, city, zip, pull up 10, 15 homes that could be a match for your buyer, and go to that seller and say, hey, I have a very interested buyer looking to buy, looking to possibly close in a month or two. Are you interested in selling?
Now, question, can you do that? There's this thing that called Clear Cooperation. I mean, it may not exist by the time anybody listens to it, but at present, Clear Cooperation requires that you put a property on the MLS within 24 hours of taking the listing. So how can somebody have 400 properties in our system and not be in violation of Clear Cooperation?
As they are researching marketing and trying to get a seller to raise their hand, that's how.
That's right. They're not actually listed properties. Right. They're people that have shown an interest. It's like if somebody asks you for a home value, right? You know that these people have an interest in it, and if you hit the right number, ding, 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 is what's going to happen, right? So as buyers, they want to find these off-market properties. They don't want to have to go in, especially if we're in kind of a market where you're having multiple offers. I don't care if it's 2 multiple offers or 20. They don't want to compete. They want to know that they can come in, offer what they want and be able to negotiate with that seller. So having a platform that has 400, 150, whatever properties in your market that are not offered on the MLS, well, that is a substantial differentiator for you in your market when working with a buyer.
That's right. So like our database, we got several thousand people there, and every month we give an offer on a home. And so they're keeping up their cash offer. They're every 30 days, they're keeping on pace. Just want to know what the value is, seeing how the market is trending. Now, are they listed or are they selling at the current time? No. That's the point there.
Yeah. But that's what we're trying to induce them to.
Yes. And then here comes a buyer along and says, I may have an interest on that home.
Do owner occupants ever offer more than non-owner occupants? Oh, that was a big softball. That was like had a wicked 12-foot arc. You better knock this one out of the park.
Right. Right. And here's the other funny thing about, the cash offer platform. We have multiple cash offers. I want to just highlight this. This is a good point the other day that was said. And it was when a buyer offers, because they think the cash offer is always reduced, right? Mm-hmm. There's like all these lowball cash offers, or these are lower than the market. When a buyer offers on a home, is it always at market value, or is there
it's seldom.
It's generally off 10, 15, 20,000 many times. Sometimes on a hot property.
It's in the ballpark of market
many
value.
Times, right.
But if you don't have a scorching hot market, nobody's coming in being like, "Oh, you're listed for this much, I'll give you this much." Doesn't happen.
But if you have that buyer that says, "Hey, I really like this home and I would consider making an offer of that kind of sort," it's great to go share that with the seller. Is there any wrongdoing with that?
None whatsoever. It would be like if, like yourself, you've mentioned before on the podcast, if the right number came in, it's not anything that you're contemplating, but the right number came in, we'd sell, and your number's not completely out of the ballpark for fair market value. So if knowing that, because I've got you in my system, I've presented them to you, I've had conversations with you, I now have a buyer comes in that sees it and is saying, "Hey, I think I might offer $865 to $885, somewhere like that on this property." Is that something you as the seller would want to know?
Absolutely.
I think that's why you would absolutely go tell them.
I think I would be very interested. If somebody says, "Hey, I'd give you $850, $865 for your home right now," I would want to hear that. I was like, "Hey, I'm interested. Mm-hmm. Tell me more. Tell me about this person. Tell me about this buyer." So that goes back to what we're talking about, buyers and this new ruling that is facing us here in a few weeks. It's that buyers want homes, but they want homes that they can't find. And if you have all these homes in our database and how it collects them and it has them and it provides cash offers, you're collecting all these different properties. That buyer comes in, you have the ability to show them properties that they wouldn't see anywhere else but right there, and that you could go to that seller and put a deal together.
That's 100% right. And when the new rules go into effect, and you as a buyer agent have to have that buyer broker sign to even open the door, all the more so I'm having the conversation saying, I can't show you these off-market properties until you sign the agreement. When you sign the buyer broker agreement with me, not only do you get everything you get with any agent you find out there, but you also get my expertise, use your value proposition, and access to my database of off-market homes, which right now stands at over 150 off-market homes right now. No one else is offering you that.
Yeah, where else are you going to find this? And a buyer's always fearful and always worried about missing out on a great deal. It's always the miss out. And I've laughed. I think I've shared this a time or two when worked as a buyer agent for 15 years. So I've showed a few homes, I've put a few thousand of them under contract. But it was like always when I'd have them in the car, they could see across like 3 rows of homes and see a sign for sale that, was a coming soon or an exclusive listing or one that already closed, and asked the question like, "Hey, what's that over there? Can we go see it? Like, is that one for sale? Let's check that one out." And I'm trying to show them the home that I have picked out for them. And, I said, but it was always the one that they couldn't get into, or I wasn't on the list, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's only happened to me and not anybody else out there.
Right. Right.
But that just shows you how they react.
And that's the consumer part. So we've talked a lot here, Tim, about how we as agents with our platform have a tool that can deliver this. But why does the buyer want that? Why does the buyer, when you, just like you said, you take them out, but their reticular activator is going off on something that's like, wait a minute, that one says coming soon, or that one is a for sale by owner. They pick these things out.
Or that one has a for sale sign and you're not showing it to me. Why not?
Yes. Why is that?
It's the fear of missing out.
I think that's right. I think
It's the fear of them thinking like, I'm not seeing everything. And you, Mr. Tim Evans, are not a good real estate agent. You didn't have this on your list. You didn't show this to us. So you lose. And I'm like sweating bullets, right? It's like, yeah, well, that one's pending or coming soon or exclusive.
Right.
Or
There's
whatever
all the reasons why.
all
They're
the
logical.
reasons. Yes. And I didn't have it on my list. Like, and there's been times, Jason, and I'm admitting I missed them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our mistake. And so, they're smart. They understand, like,
they're savvy.
We're all human beings and you miss it. And if that happens, boy, you're toast. If they go back online and they see it and it's like, why didn't you show this to me?
Yep.
It's a problem.
I mean, just as you have that situation where you're out there showing them, I'm sure you've also received the call where it's like, we keep finding homes. Our agent isn't showing them to us. We need a new agent, right? The number one thing that the National Association of Realtors still says that buyers want from you as their buyer agent is to help them find the home. Now, we think oftentimes that means, well, I have to find it for them. But really what it is we're helping them find through their own self-discovery the home. Part of that process is they want to know that they have access to things other people don't have. They get first shot. There's this belief that we all have that if I have first shot, that I can get the best deal if I have first shot at it. And that's why
100%.
the off-market home becomes such an attractive value piece.
It's a great catch net, great conversation piece. You can pull that up at an open house. If you run into folks there, you can pull buyers. You can pull it up anywhere. Sign calls, very, very dominant, saying, hey, why don't you come in? We'll show you some things that you may not be seeing. Well, we know you're not seeing because they're not found online. Mm-hmm. So I'd hate for you to miss out on that perfect opportunity, right? You're playing right in to their thinking, right into their wants and desires. And that's how we're going to capture these folks and capture these buyers and getting them to sign the agreement. Mm-hmm. Because everybody else is sending them homes that are listed that they already have access to. How many times and I'm going to ask every one of you folks out there that are real estate agents, if you're not, and you're just catching this podcast, how many times do you send, like as an agent, send homes and the person doesn't respond? Because they already have them.
They already have them.
So it's like, why are you sending me homes I already have?
Yep. They're already looking at them on some search portal somewhere.
They're beating that laptop to death looking at homes.
Laptop, iPad.
Yeah, they're at home.
Their phone.
Yeah, right after supper. I mean, that is the most important thing.
Their friends are sending them to them because they know they're looking. They're coming from everywhere.
And we look 10 minutes,
mm-hmm.
right? And we think we're on top of it. Not like they are.
Not at all.
And so here's how you get ahead of that, right? And so if somebody wants to get access to the platform, what do they do? Let's share that.
If this is sounding intriguing to you, then the best place to do is go to cashoffers.pro. Check out the platform there. We also have a podcast that we previously did that's oddly enough called The Platform. You can see kind of how it works and you'll understand why this is a tool that is working for both getting sellers as well as securing buyers. And that's really what it's about. We are agents first. How would I create more business for myself? And that's what we're doing. I mean, your team here in Phoenix is using it and is creating more business for itself. So cashoffers.pro, go there, check it out. Check out the podcast that we did called The Platform. That would be another place to go.
Yep, and that's right. You can see the platform. It's
check out the video version of the platform on YouTube. I guess you won't see much if you're listening to it.
You don't have to look at our mugs too much,
right.
But yeah, we showcase the platform there and give you a good idea. So anyways, I'll let you take us down. It's a great show today. And I think this is very good that we go over this because I think there's going to be a lot of questions. Folks that are not hearing this are going to miss out.
Yes.
So it's the early adopters, one that they're
going to have a chance to
crush it.
gain market share. And that's what we want anybody listening to the Real Estate Consumer Shift to do. We want you to go out there. We want you to get market share. We want you to thrive. We want you to understand why the market is behaving and doing the way the things that it's doing. So thanks for joining us. We're here every week. Catch us on YouTube. Catch us on every podcast listening station on demand. Check us out on social media everywhere. We're omnipresent. Thanks to Mr. Jacob here. We're going to get him on the phone, here.
We're going to get Jacob on, man.
The mic at one of these times.
He's like Hollywood over there.
He's smirking at us. Anyway, thanks for tuning in for the Real Estate Consumer Shift. We'll see you next time.
Hey, take care. Have a great week, everybody.